Hi everyone, my name is Chief Kangoma III, the Flying Lion, and today I'll be talking about the next section in the same chapter 14, the core function in the leadership, and the second section will be developing and communicating a vision. When you create your vision statement, now we are just trying to develop and trying to communicate it. And the section is going to teach you how to gain more followers, members, and support for your organization by learning how to develop and communicate your organization's vision. Let's start by a few questions like, what is a vision? Why do you need to communicate a vision to others? And when do you need to communicate your vision? How do you create a vision? And how do you communicate a vision to others? Uh, in his 1961 inaugural address, John F. Kennedy said, "Let both sides seek to invoke the wonders of science instead of its terrors. Together let us explore the stars, conquer the desert, eradicate disease, tap the ocean depths, and encourage the arts and commerce." That's the inaugural address which President Kennedy opened. Uh, every leader has a vision. For Nelson Mandela, it was a South Africa without apartheid, and for Lech Walesa, it was a Poland run by workers and common people, and for Susan Anthony, it was a United States in which women had the right to vote. Even though these are just examples of famous leaders, they are not much different from community leaders who have visions for their communities. If you are a community leader, you probably already have some kind of vision. Perhaps you want elderly folks to be able to live decently and independently. Or maybe you want your school district to give children from all backgrounds an equal chance to academic achievement. Or perhaps you want a community that has the skills and commitment to discuss hard issues and solve tough problems cooperatively. And whatever your vision of your community is, it is important. Why is it important to have a vision? Because nothing happens until it happens in someone's mind first. Because everyone has to come up with something. Someone has to come up with something in their mind, and we can share that in future, like for everyone. And in this section, you will learn how to take a dream and turn it into a vision. You will also learn how to use your vision to to mobilize, and to inspire people so that others want to join you in making your vision a reality. But let's first take a closer look at different steps in developing and communicating a vision. And there are three steps in the vision process. The first one is developing your own vision. The second one is communicating your vision to others. And the third one is developing the group's vision within the group. This section focuses on the first two steps. How, as a leader, you develop your own vision and communicate it to others. It also focuses on how to use your vision to move people toward a common goal. The next section will be focusing on the third step, which is developing the group's vision. Included in that section is an outline of how to develop a vision statement for a group or organization. Now we will look at you and your vision, like if you might come up with your own vision. Yeah. The first thing we have to understand first, what is a vision? A vision is your big picture. Is a big picture of the way things ought to be, like the way you want to make things. It is your billboard image of what you are working towards. For example, if you may have a picture, of all the different ways you want your neighborhood to be better, and you may want a neighborhood that has clean streets. You may want people to watch out for each other, so that crime is less likely to take place. You may want a neighborhood in which people know each other well enough to be able to solve problems together. Uh, every day, as you go about your life, you may find yourself thinking about all the ways things could be better. If you put together all the pieces of how things should be, you have an overall vision. Like you may come up with a, a general idea that will be like your vision. Once you put together all those pieces, your overall vision might be a neighborhood that is friendly, safe, and clean. One in which neighbors know, like, support each other, and work out differences together. Your overall vision is like a billboard. A billboard, it is a picture of your ideal neighborhood or community that gets your ideas across powerfully, accurately, and quickly. Once you have a vision, you tell people about it and use it to lead people. Why do you need to communicate your vision to others? Because no one can decide to follow you until they know what direction you are headed in. The direction that you are heading to, the direction that you have taken. You have to show them the direction that you want to take. Like, if your vision is one that touches a chord with many people, and if you can communicate it well, people will join you in reaching toward your goals. And in the word of Syracuse cultural workers, their vision is, no matter what our attempts to inform, it is our ability to inspire that will turn the tides. Sharing a vision is a central role of a leader. A vision gives people a bigger picture of what things can be like. It helps people raise their hopes and expectations, and it inspires them to come closer to you. When people are inspired, they are more likely to work on something. The next question is, when do you need to communicate your vision? The answer might be all the time. Whenever you talk to people about your group or organization, tell people what you are working toward. The more you do it, the better you will get at it, and the more people will be willing to support you. Even before you have formed a group or organization, it is important to talk about your vision. As you communicate it to others, you are creating a community of people who know about you, about your idea, and who potentially will support you. The next question is, how do you create a vision? The first step in creating a vision is dream big. Just have a big dream. Like in the first section, we talked about big dreaming, daydreaming. And the first step here is dream big. Dreaming is the first step. Go ahead and dare to dream about what you can do and what is possible to accomplish. Don't be afraid to dream big. You can always scale down to meet realities of the situation, but dreaming big allows you to think about ideas that may not seem likely yet. They are in fact possible. Thinking big also forces you to think about the long term, always a useful things to do. It's just always another useful thing to do. You have nothing to lose, and it doesn't cost you an ego. You can recall a time when you got a wild idea in your head, and your heart started beating fast, and you wondered what it would be like if you could make that idea happen. Maybe it just made you think like, oh what? That's impossible. How can I be so foolish as to think may to think how can I be so foolish to think that I may just do something like big like this. However, often the idea that feels foolish may have most potentials. There are often ideas that are new to the world, and then as they learn, you can come up like a big idea that you think it's impossible. It will be possible only if you make it possible, because they are new to people, and you can give it a birth. Like, yeah. Learn to value and trust your own hunches. If you get an idea that makes your heart sink, chances are good that others will come to sing along with you. Yeah. Here is how to dream big. We'll start with an imaginary example of how things are already in your community. Imagine that you presently live in a neighborhood in which people are frightened of those different from themselves. Children are considered as nuisance, and people come home from work and quickly run into their houses without saying hello to their neighbors. Some people struggle with alcohol, and no one knows about it and or helps them. And in some homes there is a domestic violence. Now here's a dream that you can just do for how things can be different. Imagine that you live in a neighborhood in which people are from different cultures, really know and like each other. In this neighborhood, people visit each other often. They eat dinner at each other's houses and know each other's children. People communicate often enough to know when one family is in trouble or in need. And when someone is in trouble, others come to their aid, sometimes without being asked. And if you have such a dream, don't let it go. Turn it into a vision and make it happen. Uh, Again, the quote from Lily Finney Zanuck, a film director and producer, said, "Nothing happens without a dream. The daydreaming mind will wander to something greater that the conscious mind could ever have imagined. The more you visualize your dream, the more you understand it." That's how we begin. So soon you are on the road realizing your dream. That's a quote from Lily Zanuck. Develop your personal dream. Uh, how do you start developing a vision? Let's start with ourselves for practice. Everyone has a personal vision. Everyone has a picture of what they want for themselves in the future. Perhaps you'll like a better job. You'd like to have enough time for your life to think about what you want to do next, or become more influential in your community. Uh, like we may start with these exercises. Like, what do you envision for yourself in the next 5 years? How do you want to grow? What do you envision for your work? And what do you envision for your family life or friendships? And what do you envision for where you live? And what do you envision for fun and for recreation? And what do you envision for yourself as a leader? A vision for your own life is simply a picture of where you want to be in the future. And a vision for your community, group, or organization is simply your picture of where you want the group to be in the future. Develop a vision for you. Develop a vision for your community, group, or organization. Uh, so now you have so now that you have some practice creating a vision for yourself, try creating and articulating a vision for your community, organization, or group. Um, how do you articulate a vision for how things should be? Jump in and try. Just try to create one for yourself. And remember, the way you see things the way you see things is what matters in this first stage of developing a vision. Don't try to think like anyone else. Trust your vision of the way things should be, even though you may be creating even though you may be creating a vision for your community, a vision for your personal view. A vision is just your own, your personal, is just your personal view. The way you say things, the way you want things to be, the way you view. You just imagine yourself like, I want to wear a colorful clothes today. It might be a vision. Why you want to wear that, and you create things behind the choice that you make. The more a vision reflects what you really think and care about, the more powerful it will be. People will be more likely to respond to your message if they see you care about an issue rather than seeing you as a political figure talking about an abstract issue. So go ahead and picture what you would like your neighborhood, community, or group to be like in the future. Exercise 1 would be like, imagine a community the way you would like it to be. Write out your ideas. Don't worry about how they sound. This is sort of like a personal brainstorming session. Get everything in your head out on paper without judging it. You can clarify and focus later, and use some of questions below to see to help you think or make your own questions, like make up your own questions, like um, what does your community look like physically? In this section you might go like, what kind of building are there, what kind of public spaces, and is it safe to walk around it during the day or and at the night? The next question will be like, what kind of work do people do? And in this section, you might try to answer questions like, who has what kind of jobs? Do people like their work, and why? The third question will be, how do people get along with each other? And you might try to put in like, do people from different groups communicate and get along? Do younger and older people have contact and good relationships with each other? And the fourth question will be like, how do decisions get made? Are things fair for different groups? Does every group have a fair say? Are many people involved in sharing their ideas and solving problems? The fifth question will be, what do families look like? Do people within families get along? Are there places where women and men can get help if they need it? Is there childcare available? Do neighbors help each other? Do single people feel there is a place for them in the community? The sixth question will be, Like, where do people play? Do people in the community go to recreational events together? What possibilities are there for young people, old people, and everybody in the middle, like everybody in between? Uh, the next step is clarifying your vision. Once you have a lot of ideas down on paper, you have a good start. Now shift through everything you wrote down and pick out what is more important to you. Don't throw away the details through though they may be important for you later to use when you are like when you are just trying to communicate your vision. They might be important to come up because details you have put they may help you later. Now, are there some general statement that expresses your most important ideas? Try to see like which are the major ones. Are there some powerful and or compelling phrases or words like that get to the heart of what you care about? Let's look back to the previous example. Like, imagine a neighborhood in which people from different cultures really know and like each other. In this neighborhood, people visit each other often. They eat dinner at each other's houses and know each other's children. People communicate often enough to know when one family is in trouble or in need. When someone is in trouble, others come to their aid, sometimes without being asked. Um, we move to the next step, which is how can you boil this vision down to a few powerful phrases? And my examples here are the first one, a caring neighborhood where people from many cultures know their way around each other's kitchen. The second one will be, in this neighborhood, a friend in need is a friend indeed. The third one will be an extended family neighborhood. People talk, eat, and celebrate together. People help each other out when times are hard. The next one will be a guardian angel neighborhood. People care and watch out for each other. The next one will be, of course, everyone's like you might put your own vision there because it might be different to mine, and I don't want to take like a lot of time to talking and trying to put mine there. You might just go ahead and put your own. Yeah. Let's move to another step. How do you communicate a vision to others? The first step to communicate your vision is getting feedback on your vision. Talk to people about your vision as much as you can. Tell them what you are thinking about and give them a big picture of things. Then listen. See if other people are concerned about the same things you are concerned about. See if people are interested in your picture of how things could be. The more you talk to people and listen to them, the clearer your vision will become. First of all, you will get some practice speaking. Whenever a person talks, they have a chance to hear their thoughts out aloud. As as they listen to themselves, they get clear on what they are trying to say. Like if you just try say it aloud and you'll just hear on echo coming back and get back the very same meaning of what you are saying and try to correct yourself. Secondly, after listening to people after listening to people respond to your ideas, your vision will probably change somewhat. You may want to incorporate some of their thinking into your own. Uh, Other people's ideas will help you make your vision stronger and make it powerful and even straight. Uh, after talking to people about your vision for a period of time, you will get an idea of how strong your vision is. You will have a sense of whether other people get excited when you speak. Everyone doesn't necessarily have to agree with your vision for it to be good one, like. But if people get animated and interested in talking with you about your vision, that is a good sign that you are onto something important. The next step is develop and communicate the details. After you test and reshape your big picture vision, you should develop details now and start putting details on it. You need to give people some specifics as to what your big picture will mean on a day-to-day basis. Like you also have to tell people what steps you will take to get there, i.e., develop a plan for your vision. People may think your big picture is a meaningless mirage if you don't give them some ideas as to how you think things will actually change. Like, uh, you don't have to have all answers, but you need to have some ideas. If you have a vision of your neighborhood as one in which people from different cultures and racial from different cultural and racial background work together to prevent crime, what has to happen to get there? Show them what has to happen to get there. Do you need a different church group to set up a task force first? Like, do you need to set up some cultural sharing event? Do you at some point need to build a neighborhood group that can challenge City Hall to provide better police protection for your neighborhood? Um, Write up some tentative ideas for how to get things done. Um, the better plan for reaching your vision, the more likely people will take you seriously and willing to follow your lead by what they see in your plan. Once you have some confidence that your vision is sound, begin to put it out as a way to gather support and for your leadership and what you and your organization want to accomplish. Use your vision as a way to inspire people to act. And the other one will be like help people to take ownership of a vision. As a leader, you have to help people to take your vision and make it their own. This is an important step in bringing people together to work toward a common goal. Members of a group need to have a shared vision and a sense of ownership in order to be committed to the group. That is the key in helping people stay with the group for long haul and to hold on it. People don't need to agree with all the details of your vision in order to follow your lead. They will have different ideas about how to put a vision to use. That's just fine and healthy. But in order to work together, people need to share an overall vision and some basic goals. To help people take your vision and make it their own, you need to talk and listen. You shouldn't talk too much. You should mostly listen to people's thinking. If you really sit back and listen to people, they will tell you what is most important to them. It may take people a long time to get to the point of telling you what is really important to them. They may have they may have to tell you first about their children or a crummy experience had that they had with politicians. However, if you can listen long enough, people will tell you they are thinking about how things should change. The next step will be a balancing act. Meet people where they are and challenge them at the same time. At times when people may not be ready to hear your vision of how things can be, some people may disagree. Some may have so much of their attention taken by surviving day to day that it's difficult for them to listen to how things can be better in future. Also, people sometimes feel mistrustful, hopeless, discouraged, and cynical. Sometimes some people depend on a narrow picture of the world in order to feel secure. Communicating a vision to people through that obstacle course can be a bit tougher and difficult for you to go. You often have to meet people where they are in order to establish some trust. You have to follow them where they are in order for you to create a good attention. As we talked about earlier, listening is an important tool in doing that. But you also have to communicate the parts of your vision that people can relate to. They may not be ready to think about an overall plan for transforming your neighborhood. However, they may be able to think about doing something about the pothole on the streets. If so, talk about the potholes. Talk to people where they are at. Speak to their conditions and their personal needs. This will help you build some trusting relationships. Later you can do more. You can do more once you have built a good trust and good relationship with them. On the other hand, it is sometimes important to say things that people are not quite ready to hear. People need to think about new ideas over a period of time before they can make sense of them. New ideas are important to introduce even if they engender initial resistance. Often the strongest and most important ideas meet with resistance. A leader has to lead, and the most important aspect of leadership is winning over the thinking of people to a vision of what things can be like, the way you want things to be like. This can take time. You may need to be gentle, but also persistent. And the next step is you have to be courageous. In order to create and communicate a vision, you must have some courage. Some courage. You must be courageous. People who communicate a vision of what things should be like are often people who are courageous enough to state what is obviously wrong and unjust. It can be difficult to say out loud that the prince has no clothes. However, once you say it, people will see that it's true. If, for example, you see some clear problems in your community, be courageous and start talking about them to others. Ask people how they think things should be. You may find that you have more more in common with the people than you had thought. Like you may just put yourself back and think like you have nothing to share inside. You should also be prepared for people to attack you for what you are trying to do, and ideas that lead to fundamental changes are frightening to people. People may actively campaign against you. Often these campaigns can get quite personal. People may try to make your personal problem or shortcomings the issue rather than the issue you are trying to put forward. If this happens, gather your closer friends and allies around you. Together come up with a plan to handle the attack and direct the discussion back to the real issue. Don't try to handle the attack by yourself. when an attack is being directed to you, you will need to you will need the perspective of friends. You will need their support, and it will help you if you can anticipate and plan for such attacks before they happen. But sometimes it's not possible to plan for attacks. And the next step is modify your vision. As you lead, you will modify your vision. The more you lead, the more you will learn about the needs to change. You will also learn from the people you lead. Your vision should be flexible enough so that you can change it as circumstance changes. And it doesn't mean you give up your principles or your hopes about what is possible, but it is as you collect information and advance your thinking, you should adjust your vision to keep it up to date. The next step is to use your vision to act. Developing and communicating a vision is just the beginning. Once you have a workable vision, you need to use it to get where you want to go. You need to organize, draw up an action plan, and go. In summary, as you lead, you should be communicating your vision all the time. People look to leaders to inspire them and keep them on the right track. The more you are enthusiastic, and the clear about where you are going, the more likely it will be that people follow you to lead. Don't underestimate the power of your ideas and words. You, as much as anyone, have what it takes to lead others and help them to envision a better neighborhood, community, country, or world. And again, my name is Jeff Kangoma III, and thank you for listening. And this is the end of this section. I'll see you in the next section by the will of God. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.